Even if you are diligently fasting for 16, 18, or even 24 hours to lose weight and heal your body, you might be undoing all of your hard work with your very first bite. Health experts often tell you the most important thing is simply eating a healthy meal when your fast is over. However, that advice is not only wrong, but it can also be damaging. The single most important factor in your success isn't the fast itself, but the way you break it. But here's the real shock. Even if you reach for something traditionally healthy, like a fruit smoothie or a large salad, you could be triggering an insulin spike that immediately halts fat burning. That is why in this video, I will reveal the gentle 3-stage process for breaking your fast. I'll start with the foods to reawaken your gut. Then I'll reveal the most important food category to begin with. I'll also share 2 health foods you must avoid as your first meal. So if you've ever felt ravenous the moment you start eating again, or you feel like your results have stalled, stay with me. This message is for you. If you ever struggle with what to eat after a fast, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. And be sure to like and subscribe because you will want to hear what comes next. Before we can truly understand the best way to break our fast, we need to pause for a moment and reconnect with profound reasons we started fasting in the first place. The strategy for how you end your fast flows directly from the purpose you are trying to achieve. It's not just about stopping the clock or not eating. It's about carefully and thoughtfully completing a cycle of healing. For most of us, especially as we gather more wisdom through the years, our reasons for fasting fall into 3 beautiful interconnected categories. All right, let's explore the first foundational benefit of fasting: balancing blood sugar and aiding weight management. This is for many the primary motivation, and for good reason. Perhaps you've noticed that shedding a few pounds isn't as simple as it used to be. Or maybe your doctor has mentioned words like prediabetes or insulin resistance, and you're looking for a natural way to take back control of your health. This is where fasting truly shines. To understand how, I want you to imagine something with me. Think of the cells in your body as tiny houses, each with a locked door. And floating around in your bloodstream is sugar or glucose, which is the energy, the fuel that these houses need to function. Now, for that sugar to get inside the house, it needs a key. That key is a hormone called insulin. When we eat, especially carbohydrates and sugars, our pancreas releases insulin, the key which travels to the cell doors, unlocks them, and allows the sugar to move inside to be used for energy. This is a perfect God-given system. But over many years of modern diet rich in processed foods, breads, pastas, and sugary drinks, we end up calling on that key, insulin, far too often. We eat breakfast, then a snack, then lunch, then another snack, then dinner. The pancreas is working overtime, constantly sending out keys. After a while, the locks on our cell doors start to get, rusty and worn out. They become less responsive to the key. This is what's known as insulin resistance. The pancreas senses that the sugar isn't getting into the cells. So, it does the only thing it knows how to do. It sends out even more insulin, more keys jiggling at a lock that just won't turn easily. Now, you have a situation where there is too much sugar and too much insulin floating around in the bloodstream. The cells are starving for energy, which can make you feel tired and foggy-headed. Yet the body is awash with fuel it can't use. And what does the body do with all that excess sugar and insulin? It stores it. It stores it as fat, particularly around the midsection. That stubborn belly fat many of us struggle with is often a direct sign of insulin resistance. This is a pathway that can eventually lead to type 2 diabetes. So where does fasting come in? Fasting is like giving the locksmith a break. By not eating for a period of time, you are not calling for the key. You are not flooding your system with insulin. This period of rest allows those tired, overworked locks on your cells to repair themselves. They become sensitive and responsive again. When you do finally eat, a smaller, normal amount of insulin is all that's needed to open the door. Your body relearns how to use its fuel efficiently. This is how fasting can be so powerful for reversing insulin resistance, stabilizing blood sugar, and allowing the body to finally tap into those stubborn fat stores for energy. It's not about starvation. It's about restoration. It's about giving the body the quiet time it needs to heal its own intricate systems. Now, let's move on to the second profound benefit, healing the digestive system. Our gut is an incredibly hard-working part of our body. From the moment we eat until the waste is eliminated, it is constantly in motion digesting, absorbing, and protecting. I want you to think of your gut lining like a busy highway. It's a very thin, delicate surface, only 1 cell thick, but it sees a constant flow of traffic 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Every meal, every snack, every drink is another wave of vehicles traveling down this highway. Over time, with processed food, stress, and environmental toxins acting like reckless drivers, this highway can develop potholes and cracks. This condition is sometimes called leaky gut, where undigested food particles and toxins can slip through the gut lining and into the bloodstream, causing inflammation throughout the body. This can manifest as joint pain, skin issues, brain fog, and even autoimmune conditions. The body is always trying to repair this highway, but it's incredibly difficult to patch a road when there's a constant stream of traffic running over it. This is the magic of fasting. Fasting is like closing the highway for repairs. When we stop eating, we give our digestive system a complete and total rest. For the first time, there is no traffic. The body can finally bring in its road crew, the healing and regenerative cells to patch the potholes, seal the cracks, and restore the integrity of that delicate lining. In fact, the cells of our gut lining regenerate incredibly quickly. We can get a new lining about every 3 to 5 days. Fasting provides a perfect, undisturbed environment for this renewal to happen. But it's not just about the road itself. It's also about the ecosystem living alongside it. Inside our gut resides a vast and complex world of trillions of bacteria, often called the microbiome. Think of it as a garden. In a healthy gut, this garden is filled with a beautiful diversity of flowers, herbs, and beneficial plants. These are our good bacteria. They help us digest food, create vitamins, and support our immune system. However, a diet high in sugar and processed carbohydrates is like pouring fertilizer on the weeds. The bad bacteria, yeast, and fungi thrive on sugar. They grow out of control, crowding out the beneficial flowers. This imbalance can lead to bloating, gas, cravings, and a host of other health issues. When we fast, we stop feeding everything. We stop fertilizing the weeds. This gives our good bacteria a chance. The harmful sugar-loving microbes begin to die off, and the garden has an opportunity to reset. The soil can recover. This creates a clean slate. Then when we mindfully break our fast, which we will discuss in detail, we have the opportunity to replant the garden with beautiful flowers by introducing foods that nourish our good bacteria. So fasting isn't just about giving the gut a rest. It's about giving it a chance to heal, to rebuild, and to rebalance its entire ecosystem. And this leads us to our third and perhaps most fascinating benefit, cellular renewal through autophagy. There's a word for this process, and it might sound a bit scientific, but the concept is beautifully simple. The word is autophagy. It literally means self-eating. Now, that might sound a little alarming, but I assure you it is one of the most beneficial processes that can happen inside our bodies. I want you to think about your home. Over the course of a year, things accumulate. You have old furniture, broken appliances, clothes you no longer wear, and expired food in the back of the pantry. If you never take the time to clean house, your home becomes cluttered, inefficient, and dysfunctional. Autophagy is the body's innate deep cleaning and decluttering service. When we are constantly eating, the body is in building and storing mode. It's busy processing incoming food, storing energy, and building new tissues. It simply doesn't have the time or the resources to focus on housekeeping. But when we fast, when we stop bringing in new resources from the outside, the body wisely shifts its focus inward. It says, all right, no new supplies are coming in right now. Let's see what we have in-house that we can reuse and recycle. The body cells begin to patrol for old, damaged, and dysfunctional parts. Think of misfolded proteins, which are like junk that can accumulate and lead to cellular problems, or old mitochondria, our cellular energy factories that have become inefficient and are producing a lot of exhaust in the form of free radicals. The cell identifies the cellular debris, engulfs it, breaks it down into its basic building blocks, and then recycles those raw materials to build new, healthy, and vibrant cellular components. It's the ultimate recycling program. The body is literally taking out its own trash and using it to repair itself. This process is absolutely vital for healthy aging. By cleaning up the cellular junk, autophagy can help reduce inflammation, improve the efficiency of our cells, and play a huge role in protecting us from chronic diseases. It also has a profound effect on our immune system. Many of the components of our immune system can become old and worn out over time. Autophagy helps to clear out these old immune cells, making way for the generation of fresh, new, and more effective ones. So, when you are in a fasted state, you're not just burning fat or resting your gut. You are initiating a deep cellular spring cleaning that rejuvenates you from the inside out. You are giving your body the precious gift of renewal. Now that we are fully reminded of the powerful why behind our fasting practice, we can turn our attention to the how. How do we strategically and gently bring ourselves out of this healing state? This brings us to the strategy for breaking a fast. The most important rule to remember, the golden rule, is this. The longer you've been fasting, the more gentle and careful you need to be when you reintroduce food. Your digestive system has been in a state of rest, a state of slumber. You wouldn't wake a sleeping person by shouting and shaking them. You would gently nudge them, speak softly, and allow them to awaken gradually. We must treat our gut with the same respect. Let's break this down by the duration of your fast. First, for those doing regular short-term intermittent fasting, this is what most people do daily, perhaps fasting for 16 to 24 hours. If this is you, you don't need to overthink it too much. Your digestive system hasn't been dormant for a prolonged period. It's more like it took a short nap rather than going into a deep sleep. In this case, you simply break your fast with your usual healthy, well-prepared meal. If you normally eat a low-carbohydrate, high-fat diet or a paleo-style diet, you just eat that. The key is to continue with the good habits that are already giving you results. No special elaborate plan is needed here. Just make sure that the first meal is made of real whole foods. Now, let's consider a longer fast. For instance, a 36-hour fast. Here is where we need to start exercising a bit more caution and planning. After 36 hours without food, your digestive machinery has truly powered down. The production of stomach acid, digestive enzymes, and bile has been significantly reduced because they simply weren't needed. Your gut lining has been in a state of deep repair. To suddenly hit it with a large, heavy, complex meal will be a shock to the system. It would be like asking someone who just woke up to immediately run a marathon. It can lead to digestive distress, bloating, stomach cramps, and discomfort. So, for a 36-hour fast, you want to start thinking about a gentle reentry. Finally, for those who want to take an even longer fast, such as a 3 to 5 day fast, at this point, a careful and strategic plan is not just a good idea. It is essential your digestive system is in a deep state of dormancy. Reintroducing food improperly after a fast of this length can be a significant jolt to the body. The general rule of thumb becomes even more critical. You want to introduce foods very gradually over a period of time. You'll start with things that are exceptionally easy to digest, and then slowly over several hours, or even the next day move on to heavier, more complex foods. You are essentially giving your digestive tract a warm-up period, allowing it to slowly and methodically power its machinery back on. Remember that golden rule: the longer you go, the more gentle you must be. So, with this strategy in mind, let's move into the specifics. What are these gentle foods? How do we layer them? This brings us to the heart of our discussion, the step-by-step guide to the best foods for breaking a fast. We are going to approach this in 3 distinct phases, each designed to gently reawaken the body while maximizing the benefits you work so hard to achieve. Stage 1. Start with fat first. This might sound counterintuitive to some, as we've often been taught to fear fat, but healthy fats are your best friend when breaking a fast. Here's why. Fat has a very minimal impact on your insulin levels. Remember, one of our primary goals with fasting was to lower insulin. When you break your fast with carbohydrates or even a large amount of protein, you will get a significant insulin response, which can slam the brakes on fat burning and jolt your system. Fat, on the other hand, speaks a very quiet language to your hormones. It allows you to gently transition from a fasted state to a fed state without a dramatic hormonal shift. It provides a source of clean energy and promotes a feeling of satiety, which is crucial for preventing what I call rebound ravenous eating. You know that feeling when you're so hungry, you want to eat everything in sight. Starting with fat calms that response and allows you to remain in control. So what kind of fats are we talking about? First on our list is MCT oil. MCT stand for medium chain triglycerides. These are special types of fats often derived from coconut oil that are very unique, unlike other fats. They don't need to go through the whole complex digestive process. They are absorbed quickly and sent straight to the liver where they can be converted into ketones for immediate energy for your brain and body. This can give you a wonderful gentle boost of energy and mental clarity. You only need a little bit. I would suggest starting with just 1 teaspoon, perhaps stirred into a cup of warm herbal tea or black coffee. Next, we have butter and ghee. A good quality butter from grass-fed cows is a wonderful source of healthy saturated fats and soluble vitamins. Ghee is a form of clarified butter where the milk solids have been removed, making it an excellent choice for those who might have a sensitivity to dairy. Like MCT oil, you can put a teaspoon of butter or ghee into a warm beverage. It provides that same gentle satiating fat without waking up your insulin. Another excellent choice is a high-quality olive oil. I am speaking specifically of extra virgin col-dressed olive oil. It's not just a source of monounsaturated fat. It's also rich in powerful anti-inflammatory compounds called polyphenol. You can simply take a tablespoon of it straight. It has a wonderful peppery taste. This is a very gentle way to signal to your body that the fast is over. Then we have one of nature's most perfect foods, the avocado. An avocado is mostly fat and fiber, making it an ideal food for breaking a fast. It's a bit more substantial than the oils, so it'll feel more like a small meal. Simply cut an avocado in half, sprinkle it with a little bit of high-quality sea salt for the minerals, and eat it with a spoon. It's creamy, it's gentle, and it's incredibly nourishing. Finally, in this category, we have nut butters. Now, we must be a little careful here. Nut butters like almond butter or macadamia nut butter are wonderful, but they do contain some protein and carbohydrates, unlike the purer fats we've discussed. This means they will have a slightly greater effect on insulin and will more definitively turn off that deep cellular cleaning process of autophagy. So, if your primary goal is to extend the benefits of autophagy for as long as possible, you may want to stick to the pure fats. But if your main goal is managing insulin, a small spoonful of a high-quality unsweetened nut butter can be a great option for satiety. So, the plan for stage 1 is to choose one of these healthy fats and consume a small amount. Then you wait. Give your body about an hour. This allows the fat to be digested and sends a gentle signal to your gut that it's time to slowly start waking up. Stage 2, feed the gut. After that first hour has passed and you've gently broken your fast with fat, it's time to move to the second stage. Our goal here is to repopulate and nourish that gut garden we talked about earlier. During your fast, you cleared out the weeds. Now it's time to plant the seeds and fertilize the soil. First, we plant the seeds. This means introducing probiotics, the beneficial bacteria themselves. The best way to do this is with natural fermented foods. An excellent choice is sauerkraut, which is fermented cabbage. It's teeming with beneficial bacteria. Look for the raw, unpasteurized kind that you find in the refrigerated section of the grocery store, as the heat from pasteurization kills the live cultures. Just a few forkfuls are all you need. Other fermented vegetables work wonderfully as well. Another great source of probiotics is yogurt or kefir. These are fermented dairy products. If you tolerate dairy well, choose a plain full-fat yogurt or kefir with no added sugar. The fat makes it gentle on your system, and the live cultures will help to repopulate your gut with beneficial microbes. After we plant the seeds, we need to provide fertilizer. This means giving our new bacteria some fuel to help them grow and thrive. This fuel is known as prebiotics, which are essentially types of plant fiber. Steamed vegetables are a perfect choice here. Think of things like asparagus, broccoli, or cauliflower steamed until they are very soft and easy to digest. A warm, nourishing vegetable soup is another fantastic option. Cooking the vegetables breaks down the fibers, making them less work for your waking digestive system while still providing the necessary fuel for your microbiome. Now, let's talk about another very popular tool for breaking a fast, bone broth. There's a lot of discussion and some confusion surrounding bone broth. So, I want to make it very clear. Bone broth is a wonderfully healing food. It's rich in collagen, gelatin, and amino acids like glycine, which are the literal building blocks for repairing and sealing a damaged gut lining. It's like a soothing balm for your entire digestive tract. However, let's answer the common question. Does bone broth break a fast? Yes, it absolutely does. Because bone broth contains protein in the form of these amino acids, it will signal your body to stop the process of autophagy. So, we don't use bone broth during a fast if our goal is autophagy, but it is an absolutely superb food to use in stage 2 of breaking a fast. It's incredibly gentle, easy to digest, and provides the exact nutrients your gut needs to complete the healing and rebuilding process you started. A warm cup of high-quality bone broth after your probiotics can be one of the most nourishing things you can do. Stage 3, support growth and rebuilding. Now, several hours after you began the process, perhaps for your next meal of the day, your gut has been gently awakened. It's had fat, it's had probiotics, it's had fiber and healing nutrients. It is now warmed up and ready to handle more complex foods. This brings us to our final stage, providing the building blocks for growth and repair. Fasting is a time for cleansing and breaking down, and refeeding is a time for building back up stronger and healthier. This is when we reintroduce high-quality protein. Protein provides essential amino acids needed to rebuild muscle tissue, support immune function, and create healthy new cells. But because you prepped your system so carefully through stages 1 and 2, you won't feel that out of control. Ravenous hunger. You can now mindfully eat a complete meal. What are some good choices here? Eggs are a wonderful option, particularly if they are from pasture-raised chickens. They're complete protein and very easy on the digestive system. Wild-caught fish like salmon are another excellent choice, as they provide not only protein but also anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids. And of course, good quality poultry like chicken or lamb are also great building blocks to complete the refeeding process. Pair your protein with some more well-cooked vegetables, and you have a perfect nourishing meal to complete your fasting cycle. By following this 3-stage process, fat first, then feeding the gut, and finally reintroducing protein, you honor the healing work of the fast and ensure a gentle, effective return to eating. Now, for that little bonus, I promise you, it's a simple, enjoyable tip that has to do with an essential oil found in a very popular tea. Let's see if you can guess which one I'm talking about. In the world of Star Trek, Captain Jean-Luc Picard had a famous command for his replicator. He would say, "Tea, Earl Grey, hot." Now, what on earth does a starship captain have to do with your fasting journey? Well, whether he knew it or not, his favorite tea contains a secret that can actually enhance the benefits of a fast. Earl Grey tea is made from black tea that is infused with the essential oil of a citrus fruit called bergamot. And research has shown that this bergamot oil has a fascinating property. It can help to enhance that very process of autophagy. We spoke of that deep cellular cleaning. So when you are in your fasting window, a warm, unsweetened cup of Earl Grey tea may not only be a comforting ritual, but could also be subtly supporting your body's ability to clean house. It's a wonderful little secret from nature. So next time you're settling in with a cup of tea, you might just want to tell yourself, make it so. And so you have made it to the end. You have done it. What you have just discovered today is not simply a list of what to eat.